Okay, first actual video with the camera, and I am at Ringwood, starting off from A lot, and it's actually called A lot. It is a lot, and getting ready to hit the new Sterling trails. So what happens is this trail system takes you into Sterling, and this is all new trail that was built just for Sterling. Sterling is a few years old now, but they just completed the trail loop 3 months ago. So, looking forward to getting out here today. Music down a little bit. I usually listen to tunes when I'm solo, and today is Friday, so I am solo. Testing out this new Hero 7, seeing how she works. Got to figure out which frame rate and aspect ratio is the best for the type of riding that I'm doing. I noticed that the memory card that I'm using says I only have 50 minutes. So I'm not sure why it says that, but I got plenty of battery, because I'm hooked up to an external battery source. So I should have a whole day's worth of battery. At least 6-7 hours. Woo! It's a little brisk today. Not bad though, not as cold as I thought it was gonna be. Trails look beautiful. Downhill a little bit. You can see the markers. That's how new this is. This was actually just finished right before the leaves fell off the trees. I'd say 3 months ago. Good to be out. Just getting over a bit of a cold. Caught it, like, I don't know, last week. Feels like it's just about gone now. So today's ride's definitely gonna be longer than an hour. We'll see what happens. I guess I need a bigger memory card. I have it at home. I just don't want to see what this one does. What it's capable of. They say everything depends on how you're recording. So I'm trying to record with the best stabilization and a pretty decent picture. I want you guys to be able to see it. Okay, so that's the end of the first section. The new section is going to be down there. You can see the markers on the trees. Looks like they've already started on it. For now, we just ride down the old road to Shepherd's Lake. This is Ringwood State Park in Ringwood, New Jersey. Ride down the old road to Shepherd's Lake. It is not that cold out today though. It's pretty good. Better than I thought it was going to feel. Seems like it's been raining overnight. The ground is a little wet. Trail should be okay though. I've got my big winter tires on. They're kind of like downhillish, thick knobby tires. I usually ride the Schwalbe Knobby Nicks, I think they're called. Schwalbes. No, Rocket Rons. The Schwalbe Rocket Rons is what I usually use. They roll a lot better. They're a lot lighter than their 3.0s. And I run very low pressure with those. I can usually get away with 10 to 12 pounds. But if I'm riding somewhere real fast, with lots of sharp turns, I'll run 17. Big sharp rocks, fast, I'll run 17. Depends a lot on your weight. I weigh 170 with my gear on in the winter time. Shepherd's Lake, recreation area. Okay, so that trail goes in from here. Pretty soon you won't even have to take the road. You'll be in the trail the whole time. Got on most of my winter gear today. Probably a little overkill to have heated gloves on, but I don't have the heat going, so it should be okay. Nice to have them though, just in case I get a little chill. Usually I just need them to warm my hands back up once I take them out in the wintertime to do stuff. You gotta have something to clean your hands with so you won't dirty up your gloves. Ooh, a jump. Missed it. Missed a turn. Hard to follow the lines with all these leaves. Sidewinder. Kingdom Trails. Minuscule version. Nice. Oh, nice. Slippery. I'm not in love with these tires for Misty, for all types of riding. I mean, it's good to have them in the winter for sure. And if you're riding lots of muddy conditions, or crazy downhilling, which I don't usually do, because they're very thick carcass and they're very heavy, and I feel the difference with the rolling resistance. This is my second season with this bike. I'm sorry. Yeah, second season. And these are 2.8s. I am riding, the rig that I'm riding is a Scott Genius LT. LT stands for long travel. It has 170 in the front, 160 in the back. And it only weighs about 30 pounds. Been going downhill for a little bit. This used to be a mud bath. They did a really great job here going over the swamp section, this wetland section. It was It was a drivetrain killer for sure. It was always best to try and walk through. This section isn't that bad. Lucky I've got my winter gear on in case I had to dab. Now I'm going to start a little bit of a climb. Sterling is different from a lot of the trails in this area. Most of the trails around here, Huehuey Yanda State Park, Jungle Habitat, which used to be formerly known as Six Flags Great Adventure in the 70s. It was open for almost 10 years in the town of West Milford. And then they closed it down. Due to too much traffic, locals were complaining. So, Ringwood State Park, we're kind of leaving that now and going into Sterling. But all these trail systems are very rocky and technical. Don't really give you much of a break. Not too much flow, unless you just mash everything out, which will wipe you out if you're not in crazy shape. And it's just not, it's fun to have a diversity of trails. If everything is all technical and you gotta rip and mash all the time to make a flow out of it, it doesn't become fun all the time. It's too much work sometimes. So this trail gives you a little bit more of a chance to concentrate on your spin and your cadence and your speed and your flow, as opposed to technical. Like if this were Jungle Habitat or Huehuey Yanda, there'd be rock gardens everywhere. The whole thing is a rock garden. It wouldn't be smooth like this. You still have the same type of elevation, but it just wouldn't be smooth. Topography the same, a lot more tech. So you could really get some nice speed through here. With the conditions being a lot better. In the summertime when you can see the lines, less leaves on the ground, you could blast through just fast enough to bash your shoulders up on the trees. Feeling rain. That's not conducive to a good ride. Feeling rain. Is it raining? I don't know. I hope not. I might have to derobe. It's a little bit of a climb here. This is not too bad, but once we get actually into Sterling, probably get pretty heated up. A little bit of a downhill coming up. Some obstacles, little rollers. I have to remember, this is a long trail. This is going to be about a 20-mile ride. And I usually get overzealous at the beginning of the ride because everything's so flowy here. I start getting very pushy and antsy to push the pace and feel the trail out, get the nice rhythm going. And then when I start heading back, on the other side, I'm feeling it. I'm like, might have pushed too hard in the beginning. That usually happens when I have people with me. This trail just brings that out of you, though, because you can't really enjoy it unless you're moving at a certain pace. Whereas if you're riding the usual trails around here, you can enjoy it at any pace. If you like tech, if you like gnar, if you like chunk. The music's a little on the low side. I don't really want to have it that loud because I don't know how it's going to come out on the video. See, now if this was Jungle Habitat or Ringwood or Way Yonder, the whole thing would have been like that. Just rock after rock. You could do literally 30 miles in Ringwood and it'll take you 6 hours because it's all tech. Not too much flow, not too fast. Ooh, there's a kite, a nice kite, laying in the woods there. Somebody lost their kite. So I've been tooling around with this camera for a couple hours a day for the past few days. I just got it like 3 days ago. I'm trying to find some editing software because it doesn't look like the last camera I had was a camcorder. And they had a pause button and they also had VHS tapes and they were also huge. They weighed a lot. So they had a pause button though. So with these, you've got like clips. Every time you stop it, there's another clip. So I realized I need some software to edit everything so I can make one video, at least shorten it if it's too long, and put videos together or clips together. So the app that I came up with was an app on my phone, the only app that was working. The app that came with this Quick Pro, it kept crashing. I've got a good computer, solid state hard drive, it's brand new, lots of memory. It just wasn't working. And everything else I tried was too complicated. I don't really want to do anything more than just adding videos, maybe a little trimming, that's about it. But the video, what was it called? Video? I don't remember. Anyway, it works really good. Takes about 5 minutes on your phone with short clips. Not even. Drop and drag. So simple. But I need to find something for the laptop. So if you guys know of anything, some editing software that's pretty simple to use, that's free of course. I don't mind paying. I actually paid for this for the phone, $12 for the year. It works. I could do everything I need to do from the phone, but I'd like to be able to do it from the laptop as well. But to download this from the laptop, I needed too many packets. It's too complicated. It wasn't like just one install. So, let me know if you know of anything. Yeah, I can feel that I don't need to be pushing, especially after getting a cold, having a cold, and not riding since last weekend. I usually ride at least every 2 days, at least every 3 days. Every other day, you know, sometimes back to back. But I haven't been able to do that for like a month and a half, or a month actually. So I can feel it. Because usually I'm not completely to the point where I can leave do a complete sentence. And now I can't really do that. I'm not even climbing that hard. So we're getting to the point where we have to cross the road. There's a couple of road crossings here. This is Sloatsburg Road I'm getting ready to cross. And then the trail goes right in on the other side. And then I have to ride the road a little bit when we get to the golf course. And we'll be going in Sterling Forest, riding right behind Tuxedo Park. Tuxedo Park is in New York State, and it's a gated community where lots of movie stars live and used to live. It's old bunny houses in there. I once did a mountain bike ride in there. I wind up in there on a mountain bike ride. Got chased out by the security. It was awesome though. The houses were not cookie cutters. They were big old money homes. All right, so this is Sloatsburg Road. Yeah, I can tell I'm gonna have to de-road real soon. I didn't even bring my light gloves with me, because these are so heavy I don't even want to put them in my bag. I'd rather just wear them. But I've got a balaclava on, and I've got one too many jackets for this climbing that's coming up. The music I have on is streaming off of Pandora, and it's Bluetooth. I'm running everything off the radio. Ooh, I didn't start Strava. I knew there was something I didn't do. I didn't have to enter that manually. It might have drained the battery too much because I'm already running the GoPro and Pandora. Usually when I run more than 2 apps, the battery starts to get crazy. I got an oversized battery. It's overwhelmed from me getting crazy. That looks like a little new section somebody cut. So we're running parallel to Sloatsburg Road. I'm getting ready to go on the road, so I'm going to stop this. Start it back again in a minute. All right. Figured I'll record the road. It's part of the ride for now. I'm not going to be on it for long right now, but I will be on it for a little while. Pretty soon they're going to have a trail that goes parallel to the road. They're working on it. And that trail will take us right into the trail system that they already built. The trail system is all single track. No real fire roadie rides. Everything flows nicely. In either direction, it seems like, even when you're climbing, as long as you have good cardio and you're in fairly good shape, you can make it feel like you're almost going downhill in both directions if you just ride the rollers right. It's almost like a pump track when you go in the right direction. I missed the turn, didn't I? I did. I'll hit it on the way back. There's a trail in there on the left that's not really sanctioned, but it takes this road out. So when I say not really sanctioned, it's not that many people are riding it. I don't know that it's legal or illegal for mountain biking, but it's just an unmarked trail that some people who live in this community ride to get to either Ringwood or Sterling, but it's not ridden enough and nobody really maintains it. The more people who know about it, the better it'll be. But I don't think it's going to be involved in the new system. The new trail system is going to take you away from the community and be deep inside the woods. One thing about the Sterling trail system is, no matter where you are, there's a fire road that you'll cross at some point, because most of the trails go parallel, not far, let's put it that way, to old logging roads. So if you need to get back to the car, or something happens, you know, you can always either backtrack or jump on the fire road. This is the next section we're about to come up to. It's a golf course on my left. And we're going to go right through the center of it once I make this left turn up ahead. And then we're going to dive right in to the climb. one reason why I may not be playing music too much in my videos, because they might wind up being too dated, the songs, and might date the videos too much. The bikes will be dated sometimes, someday too. It's hard to believe. I remember I had an old Y bike. At the time it was new. A Trek Y22. All carbon, top of the line, in its day. And I was like thinking to myself, this technology is the best. There's no technology going to be better. And now I'm riding this and I'm like, that's crazy. Well, how can it get better than this? But you know, I can see how it's getting better. What's happening is the bikes are getting more suspension and lighter. And so this would have been considered a hardcore downhill bike 20 years ago. And now it's just a free ride, cross-country bike. You know, they would never have thought of making a downhill bike carbon back in the day, or a free ride bike. And now they're doing all kinds of stuff with technology. So I can see what's going to wind up happening is, I mean, years ago when you wanted a light bike, carbon, you had to pay 10 grand. Now you can get a carbon bike, 5 grand, 4 grand. You know, some of them in the 3s, depending on your componentry. So, say 10 years from now, because technology is moving like that. 20 years ago will be 10 years from now, at the rate that it's ramping up. So, they may have bikes with, you know, 180 millimeters of travel, with all carbon wheels and everything, and rims and tires, 3-inch tires, maybe even bigger, 40 millimeter, 45 millimeter rims. And the bikes may only weigh like 26 pounds, 27, 28. And you might not even pay but, you know, $5,000 for it. It's outrageous. I mean, this bike has, my Genius has a full lockout. So I can lock out both shocks completely just by pushing a lever on the handlebars. Or I can set it up for half travel on both shocks just by pushing it half in. The lever on the handlebars, just halfway in. And it works. I don't lock it completely out. I usually do halfway, because if I forget to unlock it, I could blow my shock out. So I don't usually like to lock it completely out. Not unless I'm going to be on the road for a very long time. So here's the golf course. It's actually in Sterling Forest. If we stay on this road, we'll be in Tuxedo Park. There's a guard booth with a camera. And you are not supposed to ride in there. But the trails go all the way in the backside, take you all around the community. You can get to some overlooks and you can see people's houses. There's a lake in there. It's really nice. It's really expensive. Okay, so the lot that I'm going to is called Southgate. You can start from the Caretaker's parking lot, which is on Long Meadow Road, or Southgate, which is on, I don't know what the name of this road is, but the loop within Sterling Forest, if you start from Southgate, is just under 8 miles, or just about 8 miles. And if you start from, because you have to go up and down this hill, so part of it is out and back. And then if you start from the caretaker's lot, which is flatter. I like it better because I drive a Prius, so it's easier to get into the lot. If you start from there, it's only 7 miles. It's a little over 7 miles. You get like a half a mile more if you do it from here. But if you do it from where I did it, which as you can see, it's a bit of road riding, but it's a nice mellow ride, not too much traffic. It'll take you into the about 20, I'll be at about 19 miles, 20 miles when I'm done, when it's all said and done. Now, depending on how the trails are, which they're probably okay, but if they're kind of muddy, I'll take Long Meadow Road back. But I think the trails will be okay today. We haven't really had an abundance of rain. Rocks will be a little slick, but then again, there's not too many rocks. Okay, this is called Southgate Road. That's why they call it Southgate Entrance. So this road actually dead ends at the guard booth to Tuxedo Park in Tuxedo, New York. The New York Renaissance Festival is 5 minutes up the road driving by car. That'll be going on from October to September, I think. Maybe I'll run into somebody today. Some people have off Friday. Okay, here's the parking entrance. See, they just finished redoing this, but then we had a big storm and it washed everything out, and I can't bring the Prius here, man. Prius bottoms out on these rocks. They have smoothened it out really nice. I doubt if they're gonna fix it now. They may do it again in the springtime. I mean, it's still maneuverable, but I don't want to mess up my cruiser. Take any chances. Prius has got to get me to the trails. See, they put a nice bike stand there. Work on your bike. Nice Park Tool bike stand. There's a map. And that's it. Okay, gonna start the climb. This is going to be nice and easy. I will have two versions of this video. The unedited version, which is going to be this first one, and then I'm going to edit Likely one version with the climbs and stuff out. There's an obstacle right there. And they're coming down. Really not much point in killing yourself going up when you're not even at the halfway point yet. And there's lots more climbing to be had. There's a stream on my left. Waterfalls. We're running parallel to that fire road right there in front of me. Kind of switching back and forth, going up. That's like the most tech you're gonna get out of this place. Those little rocks you saw right there. Stuff like that. Short little section with a few scattered rocks. We've been doing pretty good with the snow here. We only had one storm a week or so ago, and that's already melted. But once we start getting snow, depending on how much and what type, probably won't be able to ride too much anymore. Hopefully, these tires will allow me to ride this winter. Last winter with my other tires, my Schwabbles, they were too schwobbly. Couldn't ride. I mean, I was able to ride some days, but my friends with the fat bikes, and I got one buddy, it's Joe, neighbor. He's got 45mm rims with 3-inch tires, and he was able to ride that bike. This bike's got 35mm with a 3-inch Schwabble. It wasn't working. Now I've got the 2.8 Maxxis. I think they're the Maxxis Minions. There's another obstacle right there coming down. There's a split right here. 3 minutes left. So let's stop recording now. We'll see if it, I changed it to 30 frames per second instead of 60. Don't know what that really means. But maybe it'll record a little longer. I don't have much. I erased some video, some footage I was playing with last night. Just to see. Almost done now. I didn't realize the camera had turned off until I had been talking for a while. I'll find out when I get home. Yeah. Music. Got the music. I think I'll put the music on. It's a good idea, right? Put the music on. Gotta have the music. You don't have to have the music, but it's nice. Come on.
'cause we ain't good at how to get away. Always a haunted place. Oh, when you
Okay. Not doing a 20 miler today because I didn't bring my spare memory card with me, and I don't think I have enough to record the ride, the whole ride. So I'm heading back to tool around and post this video, and then I'm going to be back out tomorrow anyway, so I'll probably get about, I'm trying to think, I'll probably get about 12 miles in, instead of 20. So I'm shorting myself, but that's okay, because I'm going out tomorrow. So hopefully it won't rain. Hopefully it won't rain. Then I'll be sorry I didn't ride longer today. And I would have ridden longer if I should have brought the other memory card with me. It only weighs it's nothing. Oh, wait a minute. I do have another memory card in the car. Nope. No, I don't have it in the car. It's at home. Not doing me any good at home. Obstacles. Skinnies. It's nicer when it's frozen. My goodness. Now we got pretty much all downhill back to the car. Paddle strikes.